it, friends. It's Ms. Berger.
And Mr. Lamb, and we're here today to talk about graphing inequalities.
Ooh, so fancy. Just graphing, right? Not quite yet with the 1 and 2 steps. Just
No, this is just how to put it on a graph.
That's right. Just making sure Mr. Lamb knows what we're doing. All right. Oh, geez, oh, Pete's. All right.
Stop making fun of me and get the thing right.
Probably should. All right. So with our learning target, I can graph inequalities on a number line. Well, we keep saying this word, inequalities. What does that mean, Mr. Lamb?
Well, most of the time we end up, when we talk about variables and stuff, we say like x equals 4.
Right. Those are
they have
equations.
Single answers, right?
Yeah.
But in an inequality, we're talking about a set of numbers that satisfy. Like, an easy one would be like, hey, what numbers are bigger than 5?
Ooh, 6.
7.
8.
9.
10.
So there's a bunch of them.
There's like an infinite amount.
So you have to have a way of showing that like all of these numbers are bigger than 5.
Right.
That the answer is not just one number.
That's right. And it's called a solution set, right?
Ooh.
All of the numbers in the solution set make the inequality true.
Yeah. So we're looking for things that make the question true.
Right. And there's inequality symbols that we have to know, right? So just like the equal sign is for equations, inequalities have inequality signs.
And they probably know these first two.
Oh, yeah. So we know that the less than faces away, right? Alligator always eats the bigger number. Greater than faces towards the first number. But what are these ones with these little lines?
Well, see, and these are less than or equal to.
Or
so they use the less than sign, but you know how an equal sign has 2 lines?
Yeah.
Because this is or equal to, we put a line underneath it to make it the same thing.
So if x was less than 4, then I would have to have a number less than 4. So like 3.9.
Yeah.
3,
everything
2,
less than
1, 0, negative 1.
But would you be able to use 4?
No, because 4 is not less than 4,
No.
right? So, but if I said x is less than or equal to 4, x could now be 4. And then
like if she wanted to borrow money from me and I had $4 in my wallet, I could give her $4 or any number less than that.
Probably $0.
but it's a nice way of thinking about it.
That's right, that's true. All right, so when we graph an inequality on a number line, right, that's the way we show our solution set. So there's something very important that you have to know about graphing using the symbols, right? So, and I'll do less than or greater than, and then you can take care of the or equal to, right? Okay. So if we look at this example, right, I have a number line, and I'll kind of make it bigger over here. And then I have 2, and 3, and 4, right? And on that number line, I have an open circle at 3, and then I'm going to the left. And it says that that's for less than. So when I go to write my inequality, I think of these numbers, right? To the left means less than. So if I said these numbers were x, all numbers to the left, x is less than 3. And I know that because it can't be 3. You see how there's an open circle? So if it's just less than or greater than, we use an open circle. You see here, open circle, to show where the inequality starts, and then left is less, right is greater.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the difference then?
Well, you didn't show this one, but that's, I guess I get the idea.
Well, yeah.
So then I'll just jump down to this one, which is less than or equal to. So again, exact same thing, right? Less than or equal to. So we have that same number line, 1, 2, 3, and we're looking for x to be, ooh, very nice. I don't know how well blue shows up though.
Oh, that's true.
X is less than or equal to, and I guess we used 3 before, right? So this is what it says, right? X is less than or equal to 3. That one was x is less than 3. So the only difference is 3 could be the answer.
Right.
Because I could give you $3.
Could.
Yeah, not going to, but I could. Okay, which means I'm going to use a closed circle above 3. Now, I guess she doesn't really like this. She likes it when you put it on the number
on
line.
the line.
That's
why we changed the color.
That's right. I always put it above. She always puts it on. Okay? So anyway, so it's a closed circle, and then it's just the same thing, right? Because it could be 3, it could be 2, it could be 1.
It could be negative.
But it could be 3. Here, it could be 2, it could be 1.
But it can't be
3.
It can't be. Because 3 is not less than 3.
So really, the only difference is open and closed circles.
Open and closed circle. So the only two things you're really considering is, am I open or closed?
And
am I
which
going
direction am I
left or
going?
right?
Yep.
That's
And
it.
notice both of those went because of the less than. We just followed the arrow,
Right.
And it's less than. If we were doing greater than,
like these two examples, we would go to the right.
so then we would have this.
But yeah.
Except that's a terrible, but x is greater than or equal to 3. Well then, I don't know why you have me
Examples
this
on the
color.
next.
1, 2.
On the next slide, Mr. Lamb.
It would be a closed circle going that way.
Yeah.
Fine, let's go show them the next
Fine,
slide.
let's do it on a bigger slide.
Okay, let's do it on a bigger slide.
Alright, so if I wanted to graph the inequality, let's do a color you can see, sorry for the blue. So if I were, but not black, okay, here we go.
Right.
If I were to graph the inequality, let's do, and look, and it doesn't have to be x, right? So I can do A is greater than or equal to 4. And I'm like, okay. So the number here, that's where my graph is going to really start. So I go to the 4. Okay. And I'm going A is greater than or equal to. So if it has the line, I color in the circle. So I start with a closed circle at 4. And greater than, I'm going to the right. And I'm going to the right infinitely, right? Which is why I put that little arrow there. I don't stop at 7 or 6 or 5. I'm going all the way for eternity to the right. Little trick, this is kind of cool. If your variable is first.
Yeah, only if it's first.
Only if your variable is first. So if the letter comes first, your inequality sign is the arrow. I'm going to go that way.
But the variable has to be first.
Right. Well, what happens if the variable's not first? So let's say I have or let's not. Let's say I have -3 is less than J.
Well then,
what would I do then, Mr. Lamb?
Well then, the best way to do this is to think about it, right?
Okay.
So -3 is less than J.
Right.
Right? Well, we know we're going to start at -3.
Right.
Okay, so let's go ahead, and there's no line.
No line, so open
I'm just going to
circle.
start with an open circle. Now, -3 is less than J. So I'm going to come up with a number that makes that true.
Okay, so -3 is less than J.
-4, so -3 is less than J. If I said -4, well then -3 is less than -4. That's not true.
That's not true.
So I can't go the way the arrow's going. But, hey, I'm going to make sure I get this right. I don't like negative numbers all that much. I'm going to say -3 is less than 4.
That's true.
So if I put a little dot right here, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, and if I say -3 is less than 7,
That's true.
well, then I know which way to go.
Which way? Oh, yeah.
I'm going to just go to where those dots will.
Or, Mr. Lamb, we could flip it.
We could rewrite the problem.
So think about this, right? Alligator always faces the bigger number. So let's talk about age right now. So we were comparing. It's okay. We were comparing Mr. Lamb and my age, right? Miss Berger would be less than Mr. Lamb. Mr. Lamb's older than me. Clearly, he's my dad, right? Dads tend to be older than their daughters. So the alligator would, Mr. Lamb is a goner, right? Alligator would eat the bigger number. But if Mr. Lamb and I switch places, I don't all of a sudden become older. He's still older than me. So the alligator.
No matter what she does, I'm going to end up being older.
He's still older, right? So the alligator, boop, now it flips. So if we flip the order and we want that variable first, we flip the sign.
There
right?
you go.
Alligator always faces the bigger number, and then you could use the trick. Oh, I'm going to the right.
Matter of fact, one of the learning targets that you have to do is be able to write all of these both ways.
Both ways.
So as soon as you see one written this way, you should automatically. I always say never graph without the variable on the that comes first.
It just makes it easier.
It just makes life simpler because you can just follow the arrow. So anytime you see one like this, just rewrite it.
That's right. And remember, alligator is going to face that bigger number. So if you flip
get back
the
on your
order,
own side.
I know, right? It feels weird.
It just feels weird being over there.
I know. If you flip the order, you have to flip the sign. All right. If you're confused, watch that next video. But if you feel like you got it, start on that assignment. Love ya.
Bye. See you next time.